What's going on, guys? Welcome to episode 1 of a series that I've wanted to come out with for a while, 4-Minute Fridays. So in this series, I want to share with you guys some fitness tips that helped me when I was starting out, as well as clear up any misconceptions that I also faced when I first started in the gym and first started my fitness journey. I want to do it in 4 minutes or less to keep it concise, and I know my vlogs can be a little bit longer and not everybody has time to watch them, so this is something that I really wanted to do to share with you guys some concise information that you guys can apply to your life and to the gym. 4 minutes or less, let's go. I have my time, oh, you can't really see. Trust me though, I have my timer up for 4 minutes. Let's start now. So as you guys can tell from the title of this video, today we're gonna be talking about building muscle. Now to build muscle, 2 criteria have to be met. 1, progressive overload in the gym, and 2, a caloric surplus in the kitchen. Let's start with progressive overload. In the most basic of terms, progressive overload means slowly improving and getting stronger or better in the gym. Adding weight, reps, or sets to your workout will essentially help you achieve progressive overload by further breaking down your muscle fibers and pushing your muscles to a limit that they haven't experienced before. It's essentially just pushing yourself every single time you're in the gym and constantly striving to either get stronger, add more weight to an exercise, or be able to push that same weight for more reps or sets. The scientific terminology for progressive overload is hypertrophy. Now, according to Google, the definition of hypertrophy is the enlargement of an organ or tissue due to the increase of the size of its cells. And if you think about it, that makes sense because that's exactly what you're trying to do with your muscle tissue. Enlarge it by breaking down those fibers and forcing your muscle to build more cells than were there before. The best way for ensuring that you're experiencing hypertrophy or progressive overload is by documenting your workouts, be that through a camera, a journal, or an app. As long as you have some sort of record of what you've done in the past, as well as an idea of how you want to achieve hypertrophy in the future, you're well on your way. The way that you record it doesn't matter in the end. It's just a matter of having some sort of idea of where you've been and where you're trying to get to. Now let's talk about criteria number 2, being in a caloric surplus. First step to being in a caloric surplus is, of course, finding your maintenance calorie level. Your maintenance calorie level means the amount of calories needed for your body to sustain its current weight. Now, if you want to build muscle, what you need to do is find out what your maintenance calorie is for your current weight and then eat 200 to 500 calories over that number. Now, the exact amount of calories to eat depends on the person. I always recommend starting low and slowly increasing as your bulk goes on. You can also go a step further and not only count your calories, but also count your macronutrients, be that your proteins, your fats, and your carbohydrates. Again, it's very, very important that you record what you're doing, so be that in a journal or an app. I personally like my Fitness to record my calories and my macronutrients, as it's sort of a one-stop shop and lets you see everything you've done in a given day in a very, very neat and organized form. Now, obviously on the flip side, if you're looking to lose weight, you need to eat 200 to 500 calories below that maintenance level, but I'll talk about that in a different video. Now, if you're not sure what your maintenance calories are or how to calculate your macronutrients, I will leave both in the description box down below. Hit those links and get started. To do this properly, you will need to buy a food scale though. You don't need anything super expensive. A $20 to $30 food scale will do perfectly fine. You don't need a lot of features, just something that weighs your food properly. And like I said before, MyFitnessPal is my personal favorite app to use. It's just very easy to use, very concise, and very organized. So in summary, to build muscle, you have to be 1, in progressive overload, and 2, in a caloric surplus. Now before I end this video, I want to just clear up a couple misconceptions about building muscle. First, aching the next day isn't necessarily a given sign of progressive overload. DOMS, or delayed onset muscle soreness, is typical in people who are new to the gym, whose bodies aren't used to weightlifting, or people who have added something new into their current workout. Like I said, it isn't a guarantee that progressive overload is happening, just that you're working your muscles in different ways than they're used to. Second, you will have to gain a little bit of fat to build muscle. It's almost inevitable. Now, I say almost because within that first 1 to 6 months or even a year of training, you will be able to lose fat and build muscle at the same time, but if you're lifting naturally, that's only really possible for newcomers to the gym. So don't be afraid of putting on a little bit of fat, as long as you're not gaining weight too quickly and you make sure that you're building more muscle than you are gaining fat. Okay guys, that sums up what I wanted to cover for episode 1 of 4-Minute Fridays. Let me know if you like this series, let me know if you want any more videos similar to this, and let me know what other topics you want me to cover. Thank you guys so much for checking out this first episode. Let me know how I can improve, and I'll see you next week. Peace.